O Lord of hosts, be with us, for we have none other help in times of adversity but Thee. O Lord of hosts, have mercy on us.
People, so this article that I found it's actually written by a woman, but she had been doing a survey of so many young men who had converted to the Orthodox faith. And so she had a bunch of sample questions that she was asking them to sort of get some data on these individuals, because what she felt like she was witnessing is that Orthodoxy, unlike some of the other strands of Christianity, was getting a lot of male converts and maintaining those converts. Unlike some of the other denominations that we see in this country, which it's more likely for the women to join, and then the men will come if they're married, this or that, where it seemed like a lot of young single men were actually joining the Orthodox Church. And so that was the tone and tenor of this article. And then it had different sections, but there's a few quotes that I wanted to read to you guys. And this is regards to a quote from a priest in regards to the sort of spiritual warfare that is described in Orthodoxy. And it says, quote, "In Orthodoxy, the theme of spiritual warfare is ubiquitous. Saints, including female saints, are warriors. Warfare requires courage, fortitude, and heroism. We are called to be strugglers against sin, to be athletes, as St. Paul says, and the prize is given to the victor. The fact that you must struggle during worship by standing up throughout long services is itself a challenge men are willing to take up." And so a recent convert summed up, "Orthodoxy is serious, it is difficult, it is demanding, it is about mercy, but it's also about overcoming oneself. I am challenged in a deep way, not to feel good about myself, but to become holy. It is rigorous, and in that rigor, I find liberation." And I really enjoyed that. And there was another point that I wanted to read, and this is, I believe, the same priest or a different priest, I'm not positive, but it says, a priest writes, quote, "Christ and Orthodoxy," and so this section, what it's referring to is the sort of feminized versions we see of Christ and other traditions, the sort of we see him take on feminized characteristics and stuff like that. And what this is now addressing is how Orthodoxy actually offers a different Christology, a more masculinized Christology. And so it says, the priest writes, "Christ in Orthodoxy is a militant, butt-kicking Jesus who takes hell captive. Orthodox Jesus came to cast fire on the earth. Males can relate to butt-kicking and fire casting. In holy baptism, we pray for the newly enlisted warriors of Christ, male and female, that they may be kept ever warriors invincible." And so I really enjoyed that little section there. And one of the last things I wanted to say in regards to this article was this last two paragraphs was talking about men wanting to be led by men. And again, the all-male clergy of Orthodoxy is something that actually resonates with men, especially in a feminized, fallen society where tradition is all about equality, diversity, and all these different things. And so it says, "It's the last place in the world men aren't told they're evil simply for being men. Instead of negativity, they are constantly surrounded by positive role models in the saints and icons, and in daily round of hymns and stories about the saints' lives. This is another concrete element that men appreciate. There are other real human beings to look to, rather than a blur of ethereal terms. The glory of God is a man fully alive." And St. Irenaeus said, St. Irenaeus, when one writer adds that the best way to attract a man to the Orthodox Church is to show him an Orthodox man. And so again, that theology of being an icon is present even within that last statement there. But no secondary thing, no matter how good can supplant first place. Quote, "A dangerous life is not the goal, Christ is the goal. A free spirit is not the goal, Christ is the goal. He is the towering figure of history around whom all men and women will eventually gather, to whom every knee will bow, and whom every tongue will confess." And so I wanted to just build upon that idea and talk about how men, again, are the line of defense. And so we're talking about male clergy just now in regards to the Orthodox Church, but I personally am not a big fan of female officers, female soldiers, of any of that sort. I know how they can be useful in different circumstances. I know how police forces try to use women to de-escalate situations because they're typically or claim to be better communicators. I guess that could be debated. But when it comes to a duty or a role in society that is related to physical force and has a physical nature to it, clearly men and women are different. And it's upon men. This is true throughout history. This is true throughout most armies, right? It's children, women and children are over here, and men are over here. And those are really the sort of main differentiations within society. And it's upon the men to defend that culture, to defend those values, to defend those families. So we see the same semiotics, the same symbolic of a nuclear family, and the man being the defender, being the sort of head of the family. That resonates at a communal level, at a societal level. And that resonates then at a theological level in regards to, if we believe orthodoxy to be the truth, well, then one of the reasons, one of many, so I'm not trying to speak for the Orthodox Church here, but it's men that are preserving and defending the truth. In my personal opinion, when you look at all these feminized forms of Christianity, it just leads to degeneracy because the modus operandi becomes emotionalism. And I know this might offend some people, but women are more emotional. I mean, that's just a fact. And sadly, it seems like men are becoming more and more emotional in our society, and any type of sort of stoic traditional characteristic is frowned upon, right? Oh my God, you're suppressing your feelings. It's it's a little too much. But we see then, if you look at the Episcopalian, the Anglican, their promotion of homosexual clergy and female clergy, it's just a matter of time until Catholicism has female priests. I mean, there's already a large momentum within their tradition to do so. So it's upon the men to defend. Now, that doesn't mean, just as the Orthodox theology talks about, it doesn't mean that women are not called to become spiritual warriors that are going to defend the tradition. They absolutely are. That we're not trying to degrade women. We are equal. Male and female are equal in the eyes of God. In fact, one could argue that taken from the rib, from Genesis, that women are the epitome of creation, and they have an aesthetic. They have a, God made man a little bit better with the female, if you want. But we have different roles. And the role of defense, the role of protection, that's a masculine role. And so no wonder then, you see religious orders that are trying to preserve something that are still traditionally rooted. It's men who are defending whatever that truth is. And we are defending a truth. We're defending our theology. We're defending our tradition. And so I just wanted to bring that together and connect those dots. To me, they all connect. Men wanting to be led by men. So men then finding the Orthodox Church, having that resonate with them. Men then being led by men have a tradition which then validates other men through the saints, through the stories of their lives. And then realizing that it's always has been and always will be men defending and upholding the boundaries in the world, in society. So if we want order, if we want differentiation between this and that, it's upon men to do so. So that's that portion I just wanted to say.